So many storylines heading into Hangtown, but there can only be one lead story, and it's Jett, Lawerence, and Haiden Deegan. 1-1, 1-1. That, motocross fans, was a glimpse of what this sport will most likely look like for the next 5 to 10 years. With Eli Tomac, Ken Roczen, and Cooper Webb not in attendance, the paddock belongs to Jett and Haiden. And when you take their rising celebrity, their growing fan base, while remembering they are only 18 and 20 years old, it's pretty clear that the next decade belongs to them. Jett's win was a little shakier than he'd like, and Haiden had some help. But they won on the same day, and their somewhat mirrored careers have aligned. And while Jett chases his 8th straight title, Danger, by winning Paula at the opening round of his sophomore summer, has set the Jett timeline in motion. It was at this point 3 years ago, during his sophomore season, where Jett started winning, and he hasn't stopped. If Haiden can get this one, then 2025 Supercross, then 2025 Motocross, well, you see the dominoes. But it all starts now, and after watching Paula, I believe this 250 title is his to lose. We'll dive into that in a bit, but first up, it's 450s, and I know this sounds ridiculous, but Hangtown is not a great track for Jett, and he's vulnerable this weekend. Yes, I understand that he is good everywhere, okay? But for some reason, like Unadilla, this place exposes cracks in his armor, and he's not as special here. It doesn't mean he won't go 1-1 this Saturday like last year, but he ain't pulling a 2015 Geico Honda Eli Tomac, where Eli was 8 seconds faster lap than anyone on the track that day and beat all-timer Ryan Dungey by over a minute and a half. Last year, Jett carefully managed his second moto victory over outdoor specialist Cooper Webb, who sat in his shadows, followed by Dylan Ferrandis, Adam Cincerulo, and Jose Butron, rounding out the top 5. This Saturday at Hangtown, a window of hope does exist. Jett's off with bike setup. That was evident at Paula. They'll figure it out quickly, but by this weekend? Mix that with the natural exhaustion he's facing after 18 races in 21 weeks. I know he's young and he has triple the battery life than most of us, but that's a lot of airports, rental cars, hotels, autographs, interviews. I know I'm making this life sound so terrible, which it's not, but it's still really hard, especially the first time. He'll hit the rookie wall this summer at some point. It might be now. He's still never lost, and every moto that he lines up, he makes history and gets closer to the inevitable defeat that is coming. Yes, he's vulnerable this weekend, which is why Chase Sexton and Hunter Lawerence should be foaming at the mouth. Hope gives you extra juice, a pep in the step, and they both deserve to feel that way after Paula. Yes, Chase fell, made mistakes, and actually lost time when he went off the track, unlike the 250 boys, but he was way more aggressive and sendier, which he has to beat Jett straight up. Safe won't cut it. He has to go for it. And I believe Hunter's presence in Moto 2 kicked Chase into another gear and pushed him right into Jett. 96 is not the Lawerence brother he's been concerned with to this point, but I'm guessing he is now. Hunter blew away my already super high expectations. If Jett wasn't on the gate, Hunter wins Moto 1 in his first attempt on a 450 in motocross, just like Jett did last year. But toy stealer little brother had to ruin it, which will make it really cool if and when Hunter does become the streak stopper. As a fellow big brother and a true fan of his, I want this so bad. Moto 1 on Saturday, Hunter. Let's go. Big Saturday coming for the rest of the top dog 450s. There will be a tipping point this summer where Dylan Ferrandis either becomes a weekly podium guy, chasing Jett around for wins, or this unique rider-team combo will go up in flames. Like that. He looked like he was trying too hard at Paula and overriding the bike. Probably a big emotional I'll show you day for a guy who deep down probably hasn't accepted his reality. How often do you get second in points and come up empty? That confusion and angst will drive him early this season, but the results have to come with it, and soon. Aaron Plessinger needs to copy-paste Moto 1 and Control-Alt-Delete Moto 2. The Cowboy was moving early, and if he stays unscathed this summer, I can see a scenario where he ends up third in points. It would take all 3s, 4s, and 5s, which doesn't seem unrealistic to me anymore. He earned my trust indoors this season, and after watching Moto 1 at Paula, no change. Justin Cooper is going to have himself a day at Hangtown. I feel it. Certain riders ride certain tracks well, and with the insane amount of sand that was apparently added to the Hangtown surface, J. Coop may do what Hunter did last weekend. I'm telling you, If this dude hole shots this Saturday, you're gonna see some speed, which may wear him out and cause a late race fade, but dude will be cooking early. If it happens this Saturday, it directly affects Jason Anderson, Justin Barcia, and Malcolm Stewart. Solid day at the opener, but be careful, boys. It's one thing to let Hunter move his way up the hierarchy, but Jay Coop beating you? Can't have that. Heading into Hangtown, this 250 Pro Motocross Championship runs through Haiden Deegan. I've always thought of him as a supercross guy, knowing that he had a supercross track at his house growing up, knowing that he raced arena cross since 50s, but in reality, as he said, he's a moto guy. His best race last year during his rookie season wasn't indoors. It was at Washougal, and it was one of the most dominant races by anyone all year. This past Saturday at Paula may have been better, or let's say more important. First, it was the opener, which is huge, and his two championship rivals had a legit shot at it. Vialle led, Kitchen led, Deegan won. He hunted them down, took advantage of a little gift from the track marker, of course went off the track twice without penalty, But let's be honest, the dude rode awesome. Second moto, he throws a nasty whip in everyone's face, which is extremely ballsy. Imagine if Kitchen passes him and he loses that moto. Oh, wow, that would have been fun. But he didn't lose. He held on, then went pretty nuclear on the podium and in the press conference. He's mouthy when winning when mouthy, chicken, egg, I don't know, but he's very easy to read. And when he's confident, you know it. I'd feel pretty confident too if I almost won the Supercross Championship after this opener, and I started the Pro Motocross Championship with this one. It's beyond obvious that the wrist injury that dented his Supercross prep was no hurdle in his summer prep, and he rides into a place where he won his first Pro Moto, Hangtown. This track perfectly suits his bulldog style. He brings up Cooper Webb a lot, and it seems like he's fully tapped into the shoulder chip program, and I think he's still bent from losing the Supercross Championship and probably will be until Ironman, and that sucks for everyone else. One thing is clear after 5 months of racing in 2024, Levi Kitchen is an incredible motorcycle rider. Based on his bike skills, smooth, silky style, and his rare ability to comfortably send it, to me, he has the highest ceiling in the 250s. But can he handle the noise? Deegs said he's a fader. Deegs threw a big whip in his face. Deegs asked him a pretty uncomfortable question in the press conference.
I don't know. You think, Levi, you think I deserve that win or no?
Levi's being provoked and tested, and there will be a point this season where he's going to have to stand up for himself, most likely on and off the track. But for now, early in this championship, his best odds are to hole shot and check out, which I'd put money on next weekend at Lakewood. But Hangtown ain't a good one for him. He got worked there last year, and if he comes up short again this weekend, now you have to win Lakewood just to get back to single digits. No, Hangtown is huge for Levi, a tone setter for the season, and I'll say the same for Tom Vialle, who is already double digits down. The first moto start was great, opening laps great, the second moto charge through the field was very enjoyable to watch, and he's in this thing, but I don't think the next two rounds suit him very well. He's got to survive these first 6 motos to stay in it, as it would be devastating to be 20 points down heading east. Hangtown is way more pivotal for Tom than maybe he even realizes. Round 1 never gives the perfect gauge on how a rider's season may go, but round 2 usually does. Are Chance Hymas and Jalek Swoll for real? Hymas is racing the season without an ACL, which is brutal, but it's hard to sit home and watch when there's a big, talented pack of your classmates on the gate that Chance is possibly, I'd say probably, the best of them. He clearly was at Paula and should be the next 2 West Coast races as well. Jalek's had great days before, High Point 2021, but this was different. Florida kid on a hard-packed Cali track, ride a brand new bike to Pro Moto, and he was legitimately a top 5 guy. That's way better than I expected, and Hangtown is a chance for both Hymas and Swoll to double down and set a tone that will carry them through the summer. Joey Savacci showed signs of life at Paula. I have a feeling these next 4 motos will be really good for Joey. Good tracks for him, good history, and he looked better than most expected Moto 1. Joe Shimoda did not, and is dealing with an ankle injury, which is terrible on ruddy, dry-ass, choppy tracks. We may be in for a slow start and fast ending for Joe, which further cements the label, a label he needs to shake if he's ever going to win this championship. A podium Saturday can cool this talk, but Paula wasn't super inspiring. It was for Ryder DeFrancisco and Juju Beaumer, who both had top 10 motos last Saturday. They need to build some momentum early before this thing heads east, where fellow rookies Dax Bennick, Casey Cochran, and Ryder McNabb will be better. This week's Privateer shout-out goes to a couple Club MX riders in Mark Finnis and Jett Reynolds. Wow, two crazy stories. First up, Mark Finnis. He rode for me last year on the Gas Amateur Elite team, and he was awesome. The kid's got a lot of heart. I knew he would crush it outdoors, but I didn't think it would really come until we went east. So a huge shout out to him to go to the West Coast to a track like Paula and get an 11th in the second moto for 12th overall. That is incredible. Congratulations to Mark and his family. And Jett Reynolds, my man, this story needs to be told. This guy won 10 straight Loretta Lynn's titles and then had injury after injury. He never even got to get the 250 career going at all. I mean, it's been the craziest, most terrible story ever, but the Club MX guys gave him a shot to have a home and reset and restart, and the guy comes out and goes 16-16 at the opening round of the Nationals. That is awesome and a feel-good story, and I can't wait to know the entire story, which I will find out here soon, because I gotta ask it. It makes no sense to me. It's the craziest story ever, but the dude is back, and that is awesome. So, Mark Finnis, Jett Reynolds, good job and good luck this weekend. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much for watching the show. If you liked it, press the like button. And if you want to subscribe, then press the subscribe button. Share it with your friends, with your family, and grandma. Make sure you send it to grandma. Grandmas love everything Main Event Moto does. All you Motoheads out there, we are still rocking and rolling at Main Event Moto. You can go to patreon.com/Main Event Moto. We do 2 shows a week now, and both of them are live streamed. Patreon.com/Main Event Moto, and we will catch you on the next show.